Have you ever stopped to think about how the words of Jesus, spoken more than 2,000 years ago, can still revolutionize the way we live today? In a world where success seems to depend on status and power, imagining that the meek will inherit the earth almost sounds like a provocation, doesn't it? But what if the true secret to a fulfilling life is hidden in these counterintuitive ideas? The Sermon on the Mount is not just a religious message. It's a practical guide that can transform lives, and it might be exactly what you need to overcome today's challenges. Get ready to uncover teachings that might turn your world upside down while aligning it with something far greater. Jesus began his famous Sermon on the Mount in a simple manner, yet with words that resonated like thunder. Imagine someone sitting in a field, surrounded by ordinary people, farmers, fishermen, and even tax collectors, declaring that the meek, those who mourn, and the peacemakers are the truly blessed. This wasn't just radical. It was an invitation to see life in an entirely new way. He was saying that it's not the rich or the powerful who have God's favor, but those who live with open hearts and humble souls. And what about the forgiveness and compassion he emphasized? For many present, the idea of loving their enemies sounded absurd, almost like a joke. After all, they lived under Roman oppression and faced constant hardships. But Jesus didn't stop there. He used simple yet impactful examples, like if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. This wasn't a suggestion of passivity, but a call to respond with dignity and strength that transcends violence. Another fascinating point was how he redefined the concept of justice. Instead of seeking revenge or retaliation, Jesus presented mercy as the true strength. Imagine forgiving someone who betrayed you or helped spread lies about you. Not easy, right? But he gave us a practical vision of this, showing that forgiveness isn't a gift to the other person but a personal liberation. It's like shedding a weight you didn't realize you were carrying. And the most impressive thing, Jesus didn't just preach. He lived everything he taught. Those who heard him felt something different. His words weren't theoretical but an invitation to a transformative experience. He opened the door to a path where true wealth wasn't found in material possessions, but in a life full of purpose, aligned with God's values. And that was just the beginning. Jesus wasn't afraid to turn the world upside down, and his words in the Sermon on the Mount were a shock to the expectations of the time. He declared that the poor in spirit, the merciful, and those who hunger for righteousness are truly happy. Sounds contradictory, doesn't it? How can someone be happy amidst difficulties? But Jesus was showing us that happiness doesn't come from external circumstances, but from a deep connection with God and living with purpose. Humility, which many see as weakness, was presented by Jesus as a transformative strength. He said, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." To many, this idea seemed impossible. After all, how could the meek prevail in such a competitive world? But think about it. Humble people are those who listen, learn, and genuinely connect with others. It's like building bridges instead of walls, something that transforms both the giver and the receiver. Mercy also took center stage in his words. Jesus made it clear that showing compassion is a path to receiving the same in our lives. A practical example? Think about the impact of helping someone in need, even when it's inconvenient. Whether it's feeding the hungry or forgiving a mistake, mercy creates a cycle of kindness that spreads throughout the world. It's like planting seeds of love in barren soil. Finally, Jesus showed us that true justice isn't about strictly following rules, but about aligning our hearts with God's values. It's not just about doing what's right because we have to, but because we want to live with integrity and authenticity. He was calling us to live lives that shine like a light in the darkness. And that light, well, it continues to guide us toward the next step. Jesus didn't stop at ideas. He offered practical tools to transform lives. One of the most impactful was his teaching on forgiveness. He showed us that by forgiving, we're not just releasing the other person but also freeing ourselves from a cycle of hurt. Imagine someone who deeply disappointed you. Forgiving them might seem impossible, but in doing so, you find freedom. It's like letting go of an anchor that's been holding you back. And it can start with something simple. A sincere prayer asking God to bless the person who hurt you. Peacemaking, or the art of fostering peace, was another revolutionary concept. Jesus called us to be peacemakers, not just avoiding conflict but transforming it. In daily life, this might mean acting as a mediator in family arguments or choosing words that de-escalate rather than hurt. He reminded us that by seeking peace, we reflect the essence of God, who is pure peace. It's an active choice, not a passive one. In relationships, Jesus emphasized integrity. He taught us to say yes or no sincerely, without games or manipulation. It sounds simple, but think about how transparent communication can prevent misunderstandings and strengthen bonds. For instance, instead of promising something you can't deliver, it's more powerful to be honest from the start. This not only builds trust but also frees us from the weight of false expectations. And community. Jesus highlighted the importance of living in solidarity. He challenged us to care for one another, especially the most vulnerable. This can be expressed in practical actions, like helping an elderly neighbor with groceries or taking time to listen to someone going through difficulties. In this mutual care, we experience God's love in action, and this prepares us for something even deeper. At the heart of the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus introduced one of the most powerful spiritual tools: prayer. Not just any prayer, but the Our Father, which teaches us how to connect with God in a true and profound way. Every word of this prayer reminds us of our dependence on God and our responsibility toward one another. When we say Our Father, we recognize that we're not alone but part of a global family connected by God's love. What makes this prayer so revolutionary is its simplicity and depth. Jesus didn't ask for long speeches or fancy words. He showed us that a sincere prayer can transform our lives. For example, when we say, "Your kingdom come," we're asking God to bring peace, justice, and love to our lives and the world. It's like planting a seed of hope every time we say these words. Trust in God is also a pillar of this prayer. When we ask for our daily bread, we acknowledge that everything we have comes from Him and that He meets our needs, not our selfish desires. This challenges us to live with gratitude and simplicity. One example: before complaining about what's lacking, try thanking God for what you already have. This simple act can transform your perspective. And of course, the call to forgiveness is inescapable. Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. Jesus reminds us that forgiveness is a two-way street. We can't expect to receive forgiveness from God if we're not willing to offer it to others. It's a challenge but also an opportunity for spiritual freedom. And so, Jesus prepares us to put our faith into action. Jesus was clear: faith isn't just about hearing or agreeing, it's about living according to what we believe. He challenged us to build our lives like someone building a house on solid rock. It's not about the winds or storms that come, because they will come, but about the foundation we choose. Active faith means living intentionally, basing our choices and actions on God's teachings. For example, how we treat coworkers or handle financial challenges says a lot about where our trust lies. But Jesus didn't ask for perfection. He asked for commitment. Applying faith in everyday situations, like forgiving a friend who let us down or helping a stranger in need, is what truly matters. A small act of kindness or patience can be the most powerful demonstration of faith. Think about it. Every action aligned with Jesus' teachings is like a brick in building a solid, resilient life. He also warned against hypocrisy. It's not enough to appear righteous or say the right words. We must live the truth. In a world where appearance often trumps substance, this is a real challenge. Imagine doing something selfless without expecting recognition, like helping a neighbor discreetly or donating to a cause without fanfare. This is the kind of faith Jesus praised because it's genuine and reflects God's heart. Finally, Jesus reminded us that living our faith is a continuous process. It's not about reaching a destination, but about walking daily with God. Each small step, a morning prayer, an act of mercy, or a moment of reflection, brings us closer to Him. And so, Jesus invites us to keep growing, seeking, and applying His teachings in all we do, because the journey never ends. So, after everything we've explored, here's the question. How are you applying these teachings in your life? Have you ever wondered what could change if you started building your life on the solid rock of these principles? Imagine the impact of living with forgiveness, compassion, and purpose, not just for you but for everyone around you. What's stopping you from taking that first step? The challenge may be great, but remember, no one said it would be easy, only that it would be worth it. Why not start now? It can be something simple, like a sincere prayer, an act of kindness, or even reflecting on how you can live more integrally and aligned with the values we've just explored. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it never comes. The moment is now. If you've made it this far, it's because something has touched your heart, and that's already a sign that you're on the right path. How about continuing this journey with me? Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let's explore together more ways to apply these timeless teachings to our modern lives. Oh, and take a look at the videos that are popping up on the screen right now. I'm sure you'll find something that can help you even more. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay with God and keep seeking the light that can transform your life.